Hello guys, how's it going? So today is the 19th November of 2014, and in this video I wanted to catch up with you guys about Daniel Sturridge latest training ground injury. Yes, training ground injury. So I think at the time of speaking it hasn't been confirmed as yet by the club officially, but various papers including the Liverpool Echo, the Guardian and all the broadsheets are running have started to broke the story last night about Daniel Sturridge apparently injuring again his thigh. The same thigh that he injured since way back in August, late August, during England's training session. The player is supposed to have undergone a scan today to determine the extent of the damage, and we have to wait and see. In any case, I think he's definitely out for the game against Crystal Palace on Sunday, this Sunday, and probably out also against the crucial must-win game in the Champions League against Ludogorets. Now, this is, I don't know, let me know your thoughts about this latest injury to Daniel Sturridge, but for me, obviously it's unfortunate. Daniel Sturridge for me has proved during his last 1.5 years now at Liverpool to be a very prolific goal scorer, a very good player, good technique, very quick, but massively injury prone, guys. You know what player he reminds me of is Harry Kewell. Harry Kewell, when he joined Liverpool under Gerard Houllier, I was over the moon with this signing. But this player also, a mercurial talent, Harry Kewell, no question about his talent, but so injury prone, very frustrating Harry Kewell. And Liverpool fans do not have fond memories of Harry Kewell, especially because of his horrible injury record at Liverpool, Kewell. But Daniel Sturridge injury record is very similar to Harry Kewell. The sad thing about all this is that we tend to almost forget that he signed a new deal, a new long-term deal with a massive an increase in his wages. I think whatever, if you believe the reports, he's the highest earner at the club right now. His wages are even higher than Steven Gerrard, probably between 140 and 150,000 pounds per week. But all this for thigh injuries after thigh injuries. And the strange thing also is that he doesn't even need to play to get injured. He's so fragile. His muscles are so fragile that only training sessions are enough for Daniel Sturridge to be injured. This is incredible, absolutely incredible, and borderline ridiculous, I would say. Yeah, really ridiculous. So is he worth the trouble, Daniel Sturridge? At this rate, he's almost missing half of the season with Liverpool. Every time that he thanks Jesus for his comeback, it stresses me, in fact, you know. And believe me or not, when the last time I think he tweeted something on his Twitter or Instagram account saying that he thanks Jesus once again that he's finally back, his body is ready. in some corner of my mind, I was praying that he doesn't break down again, because I think his last comeback should have been 2 to 3 weeks ago, when during a training session he had a calf injury, as you all remember. And I couldn't believe it last night. I really couldn't believe it when the news broke about his latest injury setback. The other thing that I wanted to touch on with you guys is that the desperation among Liverpool fans about this one and only player being injured. What does it say about our transfer business yet again, guys? What does it say? Because at the end of the day, obviously Sturridge is a very, very important player in the team setup, the system that Brendan Rodgers uses. But despite all this, Liverpool should never have been in the position that they are right now, despite Daniel Sturridge being injured. It should never be as bad, especially if you have spent more than £100 million in the transfer market. So I guess players like Ricky Lambert, Borini and Mario Balotelli will really need to step up. Otherwise, Liverpool are in big trouble. We're already in big trouble. Nothing can be done before January, so there's quite a few games to play, very important games in the Champions League and in the league, obviously, before the January transfer window opens. Will Liverpool go for another striker? I think it's highly unlikely. You know why? Because first of all, Liverpool still have Divock Origi on loan at Lille. I do not see Origi joining Liverpool in January, because it would mean that Liverpool will have to pay a premium fee to cut short his loan deal. I just cannot see the Liverpool owners or whatever stumping up the cash to bring Origi back to Liverpool early. And also I think it will depend about the future of Fabio Borini, and even to some extent maybe Mario Balotelli, who knows. Because if in January Borini is still there, Lambert is still there, Balotelli is still there, and Origi is still on loan at Lille, despite Daniel Sturridge being injured, will Liverpool splash the cash in the transfer window to buy a striker? Or even any other player, because they have spent on 9 new players more than £100 million. So I think the desperation last night among Liverpool fans simply translated how disastrous so far, at least, the transfer window has been for Liverpool. Many players need to step up. I'm thinking obviously about Dejan Lovren, Lazar Markovic, especially these two players, and Balotelli obviously. But we'll have to see what happens, and it will be a big testing time for Brendan Rodgers also. If he persists and he continues to be as stubborn as ever, or as stupid, both stubborn and stupid for me in fact, continuing to play with the same system, only one, whoever it may be, Borini, Lambert or Balotelli, it doesn't matter. None of these strikers, and even Daniel Sturridge to some extent I would say, are suited to play alone up front. So if he continues with his 4-2-3-1 formation or whatever, with only one striker up front, a fucking relegation battle could be looming. I'm telling you guys, because by the time in January, like I'm telling you, we could be out of the Champions League. We're already, the title race was over ages ago for me. Top 4 is not finished yet, but is absolutely crucial, as you all know. But at this rate, we'll just have to see what happens, guys. So fingers crossed, and I hope that this international break helped Brendan Rodgers to think a lot about himself, his team tactics and strategy, and we'll have to see what happens. So the next game is against Crystal Palace, guys. I'll try to catch up with you to this game if I can, and obviously the must-win game in the Champions League against Ludogorets. Let me know your thoughts about these games. Let me know your thoughts about Daniel Sturridge's latest injury. Thanks a lot, Daniel Sturridge, for last season, for having scored, I don't know, I think he scored 22 goals, 22 league goals with... he contributed, obviously, to the magnificent season that Liverpool had the previous season, but this season he's proving to be absolutely worthless and even a liability for me, Daniel Sturridge. Seriously, his injury record is ridiculous, just ridiculous. Unfortunate, granted, but ridiculous also. The guy is a sick note, Daniel Sturridge. I'm sorry, this is the truth. So let me know your thoughts. I'm interested to know your thoughts about the injury to Sturridge and the coming games, and what do you think about our chances, about Brendan Rodgers. Let me know your thoughts about Brendan Rodgers. I think the next 2 months will be very, very crucial in the future. Brendan Rodgers. We'll have to see what happens. Alright guys, leave your comments, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.